In 1993, 3-year-old James Bugler was on a trip to the mall with his mother. There, two strange men abducted him and took him miles away from home to a railroad line. He was tortured. Paint was hurled into his eyes, bricks and stones were thrown at him, and a heavy railroad bar was dropped onto his head. His attackers lay him, still alive, onto the tracks before they left. He died hours later. These attackers deserve nothing less than to spend the rest of their lives in prison, right? But what if I told you they were only 16? This 2-year age difference before they reach adulthood can mean the difference between life in prison and just 10 years. Should this barrier of age be the reason that vicious criminals are kept out of prison? Justice and public safety require that juveniles who commit violent crimes be tried the same as adults. Sentencing children to adult prisons can benefit society by lowering juvenile crime rates drastically. Kids all over the country commit crimes, knowing that their sentence in juvie will not be long or hard.
Rules and their punishments.
Rules and their punishments are in place for a reason, to stop people from doing wrong. Wouldn't you be tempted to cut class if you knew that the punishment was a slap on the wrist instead of Saturday school?
One tried youth.
One tried youth even admitted. Before, I thought that since I'm just a juvenile, I could do whatever I wanted and only get 6 months if I got caught. When these criminal children understand that their actions could put them away in real prison, they stop committing those crimes. Furthermore, this lenient treatment kids receive in juvenile prison does not set them up to be productive members of society once they are released.
It's not normal.
It's not normal for kids to commit violent crimes, and juvie does nothing to teach them the consequences of their actions. Much of the time spent here is playing games, watching TV, and even taking trips to outside malls and parks. How does that teach them that the criminal actions they committed were wrong? Being held in places like this does not teach them good versus bad, and in many cases, these minors only reoffend once their sentence is complete. Criminal children are aware of the crimes they commit and need to be punished for their actions. Of course, we all make mistakes. It's part of growing up, but it is illogical and irrational to argue that a 16-year-old committing vicious rape was just a mistake. Evidence from different studies show that a teenager's decision-making capabilities are not that different from adults, proving they're conscious of the consequences of these actions. We and all other teenagers know what murder is, and we know it's wrong. We know what jail is, and we know what it means to have a life sentence. We know the actions, we know the consequence, so why should minors like us get off the hook? Not only is it safer for society, but putting kids in adult prisons can also help them stay safer. It's true, kids going into adult prisons are sometimes raped by other inmates. But the number of sexual assaults are actually higher in juvenile prisons. State juvenile prisons had the highest number of recorded rapes, nearly 3 times the amount in local state penitentiaries. These attacks are often committed by the prison guards, who victimize these children because of the complete control they possess over them. By putting these children into adult prisons, we can help them stay safe while they do time for their horrific crimes. Teenagers these days know the difference between right and wrong, and are fully aware when they've committed a violent crime. When the threat of juvie does nothing to bring these crime rates down, society must act. Kids must learn that with every wrong action, there will be a consequence. They must learn that with every vicious crime, there will be a harsh punishment. And lastly, we demand justice for the victims of these horrific crimes. Whoever they were, however they were affected, they deserve to know that their attacker, no matter what age, is serving time for their crime, so that they, the victim, may sleep in peace.